Is the universe of alien civilizations defined by war as much or more than war-defined human history?
I would say it's defined by competition, and then the question is how much competition implies war. So up until recently, competition defined life on Earth.
Yes.
Competition between species and organisms and among humans, competitions among individuals and communities, and that competition often took the form of war in the last 10,000 years. Many people now are hoping or even expecting to sort of suppress and end competition in human affairs. They regulate business competition, they prevent military competition, and that's a future I think a lot of people will like to continue and strengthen. People will like to have something close to world government or world governance, or at least a world community, and they will like to suppress war and any forms of business and personal competition over the coming centuries. And they may like that so much that they prevent interstellar colonization, which would become the end of that era. That is, interstellar colonization would just return severe competition to human or our descendant affairs. And many civilizations may prefer that, and ours may prefer that. But if they choose to allow interstellar colonization, they will have chosen to allow competition to return with great force. That is, there's really not much of a way to centrally govern a rapidly expanding sphere of civilization. And so I think one of the most solid things we can predict about grabby aliens is they have accepted competition, and they have internal competition, and therefore they have the potential for competition when they meet each other at the borders. But whether that's military competition is more of an open question.
So military meaning physically destructive.
Right.
So there's a lot to say there. So one idea that you kind of proposed is progress might be maximized through competition, through some kind of healthy competition, some definition of healthy. So like constructive, not destructive competition. So like we would likely, grabby alien civilizations would be likely defined by competition because they can expand faster, because competition allows innovation and sort of the battle of ideas.
The way I would take the logic is to say, competition just happens if you can't coordinate to stop it. And you probably can't coordinate to stop it in an expanding interstellar wave.
So competition is a fundamental force in the universe.
It has been so far, and it would be within an expanding grabby alien civilization. But we today have the chance, many people think and hope, of greatly controlling and limiting competition within our civilization for a while. And that's an interesting choice, whether to allow competition to sort of regain its full force, or whether to suppress and manage it.
Well, one of the open questions that has been raised in the past less than 100 years is whether our desire to lessen the destructive nature of competition, or the destructive kind of competition, will be outpaced by the destructive power of our weapons. Sort of, if nuclear weapons and weapons of that kind become more destructive than our desire for peace, then all it takes is one asshole at the party to ruin the party.
It takes one asshole to make a delay, but not that much of a delay on the cosmological scales we're talking about. So
you could still party on.
Even a vast nuclear war, if it happened here right now on Earth, it would not kill all humans.
Yes.
It certainly wouldn't kill all life. And so human civilization would return within 100,000 years.
So all the history of atrocities, and if you look at the Black Plague,
right,
which is not human-caused atrocities or whatever.
There are a lot of military atrocities in history, absolutely.
In the 20th century, those challenge us to think about human nature, but the cosmic scale of time and space, they do not stop the human spirit, essentially. The humanity goes on. Through all the
Right.
atrocities, it goes on. Life goes
Most
on.
likely. So even a nuclear war isn't enough to destroy us or to stop our potential from expanding. But we could institute a regime of global governance that limited competition, including military and business competition of sorts, and that could prevent our expansion.